Okay, let's talk about the DJI Air 3S. Now, this thing isn't just another yearly update, you know? It feels more like a statement. DJI is really blurring the lines here, taking what was a top-tier enthusiast drone and pushing it straight into professional territory.
So that really makes you wonder, right? What's this secret sauce? What actually takes a drone from being a really cool toy to a tool you can bet your job on? Is it just about the camera? Or is it the flight performance, the safety features? Well, as you've probably guessed, it's a mix of all those things.
So let's get into it. We're going to break down the key upgrades that are making the DJI Air 3S such a serious contender, from its incredible camera all the way to its performance and pro-level specs.
All right, first up, and this is arguably the biggest deal of them all, the camera. Specifically, we're talking about a new 1-inch sensor, which is a massive leap in image quality for the Air series.
Okay, so the absolute heart of this upgrade is a massive 50-megapixel, 1-inch CMOS primary camera. Now, why is a bigger sensor so important? Well, it's a total game changer. Think of it like a bigger bucket for catching light. More light means cleaner, way more detailed images, especially when things get tricky, like at sunrise or sunset.
And get this, that new sensor gives us an incredible 14 stops of dynamic range. 14! That number gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean for the footage you're going to capture?
Well, let's paint a picture. Imagine you're filming a gorgeous sunset. With a lesser drone, you have to make a tough choice, right? You either expose for that beautiful, colorful sky and the ground becomes a black mess, or you expose for the ground and the sky is just a completely blown out white blob. With 14 stops, you don't have to choose. You get it all. All those vibrant colors in the sky and all the rich detail in the shadows. It's all there in one incredible shot.
And look at how this translates into actual creative power. You've got your beautiful 4K HDR at 60 frames per second for that super smooth, lifelike motion. Or you can slow things way down with buttery smooth 4K at 120 frames per second. I mean, think of the dramatic action shots. And for all you folks who live in post-production, that 10-bit D-Log-M color profile is huge. It captures over 1 billion colors, which gives you insane flexibility when you're color grading.
But listen, a fantastic camera doesn't mean a thing if the drone can't actually fly well, or if it gets knocked around by a bit of wind. So let's talk about performance in the real world, because that's where reliability really counts.
Okay, 45 minutes of max flight time. Now, we all know that's in perfect lab conditions, but in the real world, that still means you're easily getting over 30 minutes in the air, even if you're battling some wind. And that is a ton of time to scout your location, line up the perfect shot, and even wait for the light to be just right.
And speaking of wind, this thing is a rock. It can resist wind speeds of up to 12 meters per second. That means it can just hover, perfectly stable, on days when lesser drones would be totally grounded. That's confidence right there. Here's a spec that might not seem important to everyone, but if you're flying in the mountains, it's absolutely crucial. We're talking a max takeoff altitude of 6,000 meters. That's almost 20,000 feet. So you know it's going to perform reliably even when you're launching from way up high.
All right, let's get into the stuff that doesn't always make the flashy ads, but is super important for pros. These are the mission-ready specs, the stuff that makes up the professional's toolkit.
Okay, check this out. The internal storage got a massive boost, from just 8 gigs on the old model to 42 gigs. This is such a lifesaver. We've all been there, right? You forget a card or you fill one up right in the middle of the perfect shot. Now, you just keep rolling. No panic, no interruption.
And for any pro, you have to know what your gear can handle. The Air 3S is built to work from a chilly -10 degrees Celsius all the way up to a scorching 40 Celsius. That is a huge range, and it means you can confidently take on jobs in some pretty extreme weather.
This next one is a first for the Air series, and it's a big deal for safety. They've added a forward-facing LiDAR sensor. And no, this isn't just some techie gimmick. It's a feature that really shines when you're flying in the dark.
So you see, the drone has all these camera sensors for obstacle avoidance, which work great during the day. But cameras need light to see, right? They struggle in the dark. That's where LiDAR comes in. It doesn't need light. It actively senses what's out there, making flying at dusk or even at night way, way safer.
So you take the amazing new camera, the rock-solid flight performance, all those pro-level specs. What does it all add up to? Are we looking at a new standard here? So let's just recap the big hitters. We've got a huge jump in image quality thanks to that 1-inch sensor. We have flight performance that's tougher and more reliable. We've got pro specs like that big internal storage for peace of mind. And of course, the LiDAR, which makes flying in the dark a whole lot less scary.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just about what's on the spec sheet. A long-term review from Drone Supremacy really backs this up. After months of real-world use, they confirm that, yeah, this thing absolutely delivers on its promises of quality and reliability.
Which brings us back to our first question, really. With a camera this powerful, performance this dependable, and a toolkit this professional, has the line between a prosumer drone and a professional drone just been completely erased? I think that's a question the whole industry is going to be asking.